I've always liked preservation. I love the historic character of our city. The buildings remind us of our heritage. I grew up with preservation. My family always advocated on the side for historic preservation, starting with my grandfather. Certainly hearing stories about my grandfather and what he did for preservation has certainly had an impact on me and what I'm doing now. One of the buildings that he was able to save was our old post office downtown. There were a number of people that wanted to demolish that building back in the early to mid 60s. He was head of a group in the 60s that got together and got that listed to the register and was able to keep the building from demolition. When a building or a district hits the historic register, to tear down that building is very, very tough. It's a wonderful thing that building was not demolished, and by it still being there, it's created a lively atmosphere in that downtown area right around the old post office. So preservation is important so that future generations can see our heritage. So the building we're in is Grove Properties office. It's at the corner of Manchester and Tower Grove in the Grove neighborhood. For the majority of life of this building, it was a shoe store up until about, I would say, the early 80s. It was a shoe store for about 40 or 50 years. And then the building was vacant for some time, and then we've since been in the building since 2009. So a few months ago, out of the blue, we had a lady who just popped in the office who used to live here when she was a child. Her parents were the owners of the shoe store. We gave her a tour of the building. She was running around like a little girl again, telling us where her room was, some cabinets that her grandfather had built for her, where they had meals, and she was just absolutely ecstatic to be back again where she grew up, and also to see life in the building again. I spoke about community. When you're walking down a street and you've got, half the block or even 3/4 of the block where the properties are occupied, and then you have vacant buildings that may be boarded up, falling down, the impact on the community is so great when you can, once those buildings get developed. It's very gratifying being able to take a building that's been vacant for many years, completely restore it and put it back into use and see someone living in the building once again. You tear all these things down and you lose kind of the heritage that all of us grew up upon. If you tear everything down and you build everything new, then you lose the history of these neighborhoods.